There's a general rule in Greece that if you're missing for 4 days, the searches will then stop. It's a pretty pragmatic view, I guess, on the sense the chances of surviving unless you have a water supply are going to be thin.
The wife of the missing doctor and TV presenter Michael Mosley has described the days since his disappearance as the longest and most unbearable. Dr Claire Bailey Mosley said her family, some of whom have joined the search, will not lose hope. Let's catch up now with David Brown, the Times chief news correspondent, who is on the Greek island of Symi. He's been there for a couple of days. Dr Mosley went missing on Wednesday. Morning, David.
Morning, Callum. Yeah, day 5 of the searches. I'm in the area overlooking where the searches will resume today, where we know Dr Mosley was last captured on CCTV camera, inexplicably walking up a path to the mountains with temperatures of about 45 degrees and sheltered by an umbrella. And he hasn't been seen since, despite pretty extensive searches.
So those extensive searches, I mean, how extensive are we talking? Is it possible to put it in context of a percentage, for example, of how much is left to search?
They seem to have searched a significant proportion of this mountainous headland where he was last seen. It's a strange area, Callum. It's basically rock, a few small shrubs. There's no trees, but there are ravines. Some of the rocks are large. There's an area right at the end, which I visited yesterday, which is called, locally known as the Abyss, which is a network of caves and tunnels, which was being searched yesterday. The real difficulty the rescuers having is it is so hot. Even experienced Greek rescue teams are struggling with the temperatures.
So what is the, I suppose, the objective today? Where are they searching as today goes on, and how are they searching?
The focus is on this headland where he was last seen. They've got teams who walk along these rocks, this rocky promontory. They've also had the helicopter with thermal imaging cameras, was up for an hour and a half. Yesterday, there was a couple of moments where it hovered for a couple of minutes and we thought it had found something significant, but then it would move on. They've had divers out. They've bought a sniffer dog from Athens. Unfortunately, it's so hot that the sniffer dog is finding it difficult to cope with the temperatures as well. There's been volunteer groups. Yesterday, I met Dr Mosley's children who themselves walked the route that it was believed he might be trying to take back to the villa where he'd been staying with his wife and friends.
Can I put this comment as well to you, David, from the local mayor, who is quoted as saying, "There is no chance we will call off the searches, but I believe they will conclude somewhere today." And I'm just interested in that sort of time frame.
Yeah, there's a general rule in Greece that if you're missing for 4 days, the searches will then stop. It's a pretty pragmatic view, I guess, on the sense the chances of surviving unless you have a water supply are going to be thin. And I know Dr Mosley's wife, Claire, has been urging the searches to continue. There's been pressure from the British consulate here as well. There is no sense at this stage that it's ending, but it's not a large area. Everybody's absolutely puzzled as to what's happened to Dr Mosley and what was his motivation for going into this area that even few locals go up there because it's so inhospitable. Yeah. Why do it in the middle of the day?
You also said, David, that you'd met his children, some of whom I know were involved in the search. What did they have to say to you?
They were just really focused on the searches. I met them first actually at the Agua Marina resort where the Abyss network of tunnels is, and then later they came back to Pedi. They're just focused on trying to help. The difficulty that they face, if you're not an experienced rescuer, is if you leave the path, it's very, very easy to get lost. It's not a well-marked path. You can very easily become disorientated, especially with the heat, the sunshine. They were just amateurs. They did have a local guide leading them, in all honesty, it was a lovely effort, but I don't think in practical terms it would have achieved much.
David, thank you very much for the update. It's very good to speak to you, and we'll catch up again soon. But thanks for now. That is David Brown, the Times' chief news correspondent, reporting from the Greek island of Symi.